Richard Strong. I can't find anything in his background, so this is what I found. Classification: murder. Characteristics: revenge. Number of victims: 2. Date of murders: October 23rd, 2000. Date of arrest: same day. Date of birth: March 4th, 1967. Victim's profile: his girlfriend Eva Washington and her daughter Zendrea Thomas, 2 years old. Method of murder: stabbing with a knife. Location: St. Louis County, Missouri, USA. Sentenced to death on May 9th, 2003. Okay, so around 3 p.m., the call was immediately disconnected. The dispatcher relayed the call and heard a scream. The dispatcher tried to redial the number repeatedly until officers arrived at the source to call there approximately 2 minutes later. The call originated from the apartment where Eva lived with her two daughters. The older daughter, Zendria Thomas, was 2 years old. Strong is the father of the other girl, who was 3 months old. When officers arrived at the apartment and knocked, initially there was no answer at the front door or back door. They continued to knock and shout, and Strong eventually came to the back door. Upon inquiries by the police, Strong initially told that Eva and her kids were sleeping. Strong, meanwhile, stepped outside and closed the door behind them. The police asked again about Eva and Strong and told them that she had gone to work because she was an inconsistent response. The police asked about the children, and Strong told them that the kids were inside. The officers asked if they could check on the children, and Strong told them he had to lock himself out. Strong knocked on the door and called for someone to open it. Officers know that Strong was sweating profusely, had dark stains on his knees and jeans, and had blood on his hand. He ordered Strong to step aside and kicked in the door. Strong ran when the officers chased him. Strong told them, "Just shoot me, just shoot me." After he was handcuffed, he told the officers, "I killed them." Inside the apartment, police found the dead bodies of Eva and Zendora in the back bedroom. They had been stabbed repeatedly with a knife. On the bed, one of the officers found a large butcher knife and a 3-month-old baby sitting next to a pool of blood. An autopsy revealed that Eva had been stabbed 21 times with 5 slash wounds, and the tip of the knife used to stab her was embedded in her skull. The autopsy of 2-year-old Zendrea shows she had been stabbed 9 times and 12 slash wounds. Strong was charged with both murders. After a trial, St. County, a jury returned guilty verdict at the penalty phase trial. The jury found the strong existence of two statutory aggravators for each murder and the death sentence for Strong. The court sentenced Strong accordingly. Richard Strong has been executed less than an hour after Governor Nixon denied a clemency request and the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay. Missouri Department of Corrections spokesman Mike O'Connell says the Strong's execution via lethal injection began at 6:49 p.m. and they pronounced him dead at 6:58 p.m. The execution took place in Easton Reception Diagnostic and Correctional Center in Bon Terre. Was again used by the Department of Corrections to carry out the lethal injection, the fourth one in Missouri this year. Strong also requested a sedative beforehand and was given midazolam. That particular sedative was administered before 3 botched executions in Arizona, Ohio, and Oklahoma. O'Connell says, though, that there were no complications during tonight's execution. Strong's last meal consisted of fried chicken, a cheeseburger, and donuts. His final statement: Jehovah Jireh, you're my provider. Your grace is significant for me. Forgive me for my sin. Abba, Abba, take my soul in your hands. Tonight, I ask the people of Missouri to remember Eva Washington and her 2-year-old daughter, Zandra Thomas, both of whom were brutally murdered in her own home 15 years ago by Richard Strong, whose sentence was carried out tonight. There have been many lives deeply affected by these crimes, and our thoughts and prayers go out on their behalf this evening. After a final briefing from my counsel and a comprehensive review by my office, I have denied the petition for clemency in convicted murderer Richard Strong. Each request is considered and denied on its own merit and set of facts, and this is a process of the power of the governor. I do not take lightly the murders of Eva Washington and her 2 year old daughter, Zayandra Thomas. We are very brutal with each of the victims being stabbed multiple times, and judge found these murders warranted the death penalty, and that denial of clemency upholds the jury's decision. I ask that the people of Missouri remember victims Eva Washington and Sarah Thomas and keep them and their families in thoughts and prayers, the governor of Missouri said. The Attorney General Chris Kosser said Richard Strong viciously stabbed to death a young mother, Eva Washington, and her small child, Zayandra Thomas, nearly 15 years ago. While nothing can make up for the terrible events of that day, at least Richard Strong's execution can give the victim's family some closure. Okay, so Ziandra's aunt, that's on the father's side, also gave the statement. On behalf of the Thomas family, we would like to thank the state of Missouri for finally providing our family with closure of the horrific death of my niece and her mom, 14 years. We have impatiently waited for this day to come. It has been said that time heals all wounds. I do not agree. The wounds remain in time. The mind protecting its sanity covers them with scars, tissue, and pain lesions, but is never gone. The reality is we'll grieve forever. We will not get over the loss of our loved ones, and we will learn to live with it. We will heal and we will rebuild. And the loss of that we have suffered, we will never be the same again. He had a chance to watch his daughter grow up and laugh and smile with her. He never got a chance to see her first day of school, graduations, or watch her go to prom. My brother will never get a chance to walk his daughter down the aisle for her wedding day. Human life has dignity at any age. Nothing can justify the shedding of innocent blood, of taking lives. You must make 100% responsibility for your choices and your actions and pay with your own life. Revelation 20:14 reads, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. He will be more death and mourning, or cry or pain. The older of the things has passed away. We are at peace now, and I am glad that it's finally over. Thank you. Katrina Thomas witnessed Strong's execution along with Virgil Summit, Eva Washington's sister and Zandrea's aunt, and Willie Mae McCoy's Zandra's grandmother. Strong and Washington's 14-year-old daughter, Alicia, had appealed to Governor Nixon to grant her father clemency, even though he killed her mother and half sister. Alicia was 3 months old at the time and was found by police in her crib next to a pool of blood. Attorney Jennifer Hardin had hoped that Alicia's clemency request would make a difference. But in time, it probably was viciousness of the crime and the fact that the young child being killed and how brutal it was just too much to overcome. Strong had appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court for a stay based in part of Zink v. Lombardi, a federal lawsuit that challenged his constitutional lethal injection. Strong was one of 12 Missouri death row inmates named as plaintiffs in the suit. That Strong should have been spared because he was severely mentally ill. One of the petitions were filed to try to get the United States Supreme Court to say that the Eighth Amendment was evolved to the point he precluding the execution of a mentally ill, but we're just not there yet. Pending any stays of execution, Clemency Richard Strong on Tuesday will become the fourth person in Missouri to be put to death this time this year and the 16th since the state resumed executions in late 2013. This is just so sad in that I understand where the daughter was coming from. I understand that because she did lose her mother and her sister, and she at least wanted one parent with her, but that's just and and I understand that she was like, okay, that's my sister, my mother, but I at least want one parent. Everybody just wants one parent at least. But I think if the child wasn't killed, I think her plea would have went through if Zeandra wasn't killed because Zeandra was still a baby when that happened, you know. And I just think this is a very sad story, but I'm glad that the family got justice and what they wanted. This is what he ate.